Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about the collaboration from Kat Von D and Too Faced. I got two of the items. There are three things that you guys can get, but I didn't feel the need to grab the last one. I'm gonna jump into this straight away and say that I'm very disappointed in this collaboration because I was kind of excited about it, but I'm going to tell you why. Before I explain myself and show you guys swatches, if you're interested in the tutorial alone, that time is right here. So jump ahead. Anywho, I'm gonna start off with the big guy right here. So this is Too Faced Kat Von D Better Together Collection. This set comes with the eyeshadow palettes. So on one side we have the Kat Von D. Let's open you up. This one right here, and then a little letter to Jared. I feel like this side is very Kat. It is reminiscent of a lot of things she's actually already put out before, so I love this shade right here, but I'm not really wowed by anything else in it, but they are much better, in my opinion, than the Too Faced side, which these come apart, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So this is the Too Faced part, and then he's got a letter to Kat, which I just thought this was super cute. I love the idea behind this. I think it was innovative. It was very smart because you're gonna get the Too Faced people maybe getting interested in Kat Von D and vice versa. But this is a $65, not palette, because it does come with other items. This box contained also a full size of the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced, and then the coveted tattoo liner in Trooper from Kat Von D. I have to say that I like the Kat Von D side, but I'm not a huge fan of the Too Faced side. Okay, so swatches on this, obviously, but this BFF shade up here, it just kind of melts away to nothing. I thought it was going to be a little bit more pigmented, but it's not. I had to really pack this on. Lovely does not make sense to me. I feel like there should have been a transition shade in here, maybe like a, the typical, like MAC Saddle, MAC Soft Brown, something like that right up here. I wore this, I tried to make it work 3 times. I don't love it. I don't know why. I found them to kind of fade into one another. Individually, they're pretty, but I just, meh, which to me was very disappointing because I've really been liking a lot of the Too Faced stuff. That Sweet Peach palette, yes. And I think I'm going to do a tutorial because I got the Glow, the highlight palette, and I'm in love with it. So that was just kind of a letdown to me. I will never use that palette. Then this one from Kat Von D, I feel like you see similar things, but if you don't have a lot of Kat Von D, this is going to be a cute palette for you. This is what mainly I have on my eyes right now. I use like one shadow from this one. But Love Struck, I really don't get pigmentation out of that one. The matte shades are far superior in this than they are in this one. I definitely have something like Darling, but the standout for this is Swoon. I love the shade. However, I feel like it kind of blended away a little bit. I think it works much better with a base and all over the lid. I did that for New Year's and it was really beautiful. One idea you could do is if you've got a best friend, you could totally keep one side, and if they love the other side, then give that to them. I have to say, I don't see myself keeping this palette. I can't keep it for one shade in here. I love Swoon, but I just don't see myself keeping this palette just for that shade. Now, this has been my first time trying the Better Than Sex mascara. I've been using this for about a week, and I'm trying to figure out if I can wear it just on my top lashes and not the bottom ones and not get the fallout, because while I actually really enjoy this mascara, it flakes all over my face, like horribly. So I'm trying to decide, because if I take this guy back, I'm one of those that I feel bad if I take something back and then I have to replace it, because in my head that makes it better. So if I return a $65 thing, but then I buy $100 worth of stuff, then it's okay, right? But that's just me in my head. So I thought about grabbing this, but the only problem is that it is flaking all over my face. So what I'm trying to see is if I only put it on my top lashes and then I use my MAC Extended Play on the bottom, will it work? So I will let you guys know what the verdict is on this because I do like it. If it didn't flake, I would highly, highly suggest it. And then it comes with the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper, and I actually really love this. However, mine in my palette is kind of dried up. I had to use my original one that I already have to do my liner because this one was not working, and I thought, okay, well, maybe someone switched it out, or but I don't know. I don't know what happened, but mine is dry AF. So dry. I'm gonna have to leave it up to you guys to decide if that palette is worth it or not. Again, if you don't have a lot of Kat Von D or a lot of those shades, I really do like that side of the palette, but the other side, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not feeling it, so I'm not gonna keep the palette. Now, if that wasn't saddening enough, this was a punch in the gut for me. So this right here is a makeup bag with 4 minis that are exclusive to this kit right here. Now, when I saw the makeup bag, I was like, I have to have it, mainly just because of the Kat Von D side. Like, I thought this was so cute. But this is $38. Like I said, you get 4 minis and then the bag. The bag is what was going to make it worth it for me because I thought it was so cute. One side is the Kat Von D's cat and the other side is Jared's puppy. Super adorable. Now, when I pulled this out of my box, I was livid. I was going on a tangent to my husband and he did not care to hear it, but I was like, when am I gonna fit in this? This is ridiculous. I was so mad. I was so mad. So let's look at this for a second. So I expected this to be like a legit bag. This side right here is completely sewn together, so it's flat. And then you have like this little slot right here. If I can fit a MAC powder in here, I'd be surprised. I'm not gonna fit a MAC powder and a mascara, that's for sure. It's tiny. I can't fit anything in here. I felt like it needed an edge around it with a zipper like all the way around. Hold on, I've got something to compare it to. Okay, sorry, I had to go find it. So this was a free bag from Benefit whenever I bought some of the new launch of their brow products. You see how thick this guy is? And so it's thick all the way around, and then the top zips off, and I've got quite a bit of room in here. That is what I expected for this, but as we can see, this is super thin. Just housing the minis that come with it, this is going to do me no good. And now let's talk about the minis. This is the mini liquid lipstick in the shade XO. I find this color to be absolutely beautiful. It was a little bit patchy on me, but sometimes dark shades are just that way. Doesn't bother me, feels good on my lips. I like the color. I would totally buy this in the full size. The lipstick, this is in the shade Muse. I actually think this is a beautiful color, but I don't really love tiny things. I'm really weird. I feel like I'm gonna break it every time I go to swatch it. So I don't mind this. I think it's cute, but these are like 100-point perks from Sephora. Now, the highlighter, this is in the shade Candle Glow. Those two things are Kat Von D, and these two are from Too Faced. This right here, confused, oh, I can't even get it open. Okay, teeny tiny little guy right here, and this is Rosy Glow. When I put it on my finger, I get a good swatch, really nice. When I put it on my hand, I feel like there's almost nothing there. It's really strange. Like the pigmentation of them both, it's just not there. And I put it on my cheeks and had to add something else because I felt it looked dry and weird on me. But I've never used their Candle Glow stuff before, so I don't know if that's just the formula and I'm not a fan of that formula, or if it's just because this is teeny tiny. And then we've got the So Happy Together Love Flush Blush from Too Faced. This looks like kids makeup, and I hate the shade. I am being so negative in this video, but I'm sorry guys, I spent my money on this and I'm just not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. So this is the shade right here. I'm not even gonna try to get anything other than an eyeshadow brush in this because I'm just not going to. So this utter pass for me. The makeup bag with the little 4 minis in there for $38 is a pass. If this had been the quality of my free benefit bag, then I probably would pay 20 bucks for it, but the 100 point perk size stuff just isn't doing it for me. And I did know that they were small. I think the thing I'm just the most disappointed in is this bag, because I could have handled the little tiny little makeup, but the bag just makes me so sad. Negative Nancy over here. I'm sorry, but I'm just not thrilled with this at all. It is what it is, but yeah, I mean, Kat Von D puts out some good stuff, like the holographic. There we go. Jeez. I actually really like that palette. It is small. Was not expecting it to be that small, but it is a good palette. I love her Shade and Light Eye palette. It is so good. Too Faced. I like their Bonbons palette. It's not perfect, but I really like it. I love the Sweet Peach palette. Obsessed with it. I don't have the chocolate bars just because they didn't speak to me. But I'm just disappointed in this pretty much altogether. Nothing against the brands. They have amazing quality stuff. This, for me, just wasn't it. So, yeah. It is what it is, but if you want to see the tutorial on this, just keep watching. I'm starting off by priming my eyes, and I used MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And this is a limited edition brush. I think it's a 235, but anything will work, like a 239 or your fingers, whatever you want to do. Next, I'm taking a MAC 227 and BFF. And this is just not nearly as pigmented as I would have thought it was going to be. So this shade irritates me, but we're going to use it because that is what is in the palette, and that's what I'm using to set this entire eye. And I feel like it just blends off. I don't know, it's weird. There's no true transition shade, so I'm grabbing my Vise Eye palette in this one right here. With a MAC 217, I'm just going to buff this into my crease. It's not gonna have a lot of color to it, but I just want a slight transition. Now I'm going into the Kat Von D palette and the matte gray shade called Yours. And I mean, I barely tipped this 217 in there and picked up pigment because they're a little bit powdery, but they're very pigmented. So I didn't want to get a lot on my brush. And I'm working this into the crease first, and then I'm gonna softly buff this upward. And I'm going to add pigment as I go, but I'm going to start on this outer edge and just start kind of flicking the color up like this, softly and slowly. Now that I've got that built up how I want it, I'm going to take Darling, which is the silver shade, and I'm going to work this into the crease as well, kind of right below that one, and this is a MAC 221. I'm just adding a little bit of glitz to the crease, really, and I always buff it on this outer corner. But I'm not bringing this up like I did the gray shade. I'm just keeping this in the crease, windshield wiper motions to blend it out. MAC 242, and I'm going to grab Pura Vida. And this is the white matte shade in the palette. This is very, very pigmented. And I'm just tapping, 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 and I'm going up to the crease, not surpassing, and then tapping right around here. So I'm really gonna brighten up the lid. Back in with my MAC 221, and I'm taking the red shade called Swoon, and I'm popping this on the outer V. And slightly up into this outer half of the crease, just slightly. Same 221 and tapping a little bit of Devotion even further on the outer crease. I think I'm gonna need a smaller brush. I'm gonna take my NARS contour brush and just tap this in. This one is very powdery, so be careful. A little bit of Yours, the matte gray shade on my NARS contour brush, and I'm buffing this underneath my lower lash line. Pura Vida again on my MAC 242, right underneath the brow arch to really lift the arch. And then I'm going to take Love Struck on this inner corner. This is not nearly as bright as I thought it would or should be. Okay guys, that is the finished look. I added the tattoo liner for a winged out effect. Salon Perfect 615s, and then on my lips I put on XO liquid lipstick. I did find this to be a little bit patchy, but overall, it's still really pretty. Anywho, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.